Hi there, this is Mark from Infinity Props in association with Inkblot Creations. That's on the eBay. Now, this is the chest piece. It's been modified. It's got the bigger circle in the middle. I just had my stand. Push that out. This will fit, right? The arc reactor that you get on eBay, he sells them for £19.99. Sometimes £40 and £55 depending on the thing, and it fits this perfect, this hole perfect. I've also got this little indentation here, so I just used a hot knife like my plaster, cut myself, and I've done a groove in here and this bent it in, give me this indentation. It's a little bit more turned out this time, a little bit more rounded. The other ones was getting a little bit flat. The reason I'm visualing these is because this is for a client who wanted them built, so it's cost them an extra £45 for each kit to build. So whatever he pays for the kit plus £45 to build it. It's took me, I'll say 3 hours. Nearly 3 hours to build this, only because I was taking my time and I wanted to modify it. So that's the modified. I'm just going to do a close up. We've got the indentations there, and yeah, it's a lot more rounded. So I'm going to move on to the neck piece now. Now I'm going into more detail with them this time. This is the neck piece. You see I've got the flange or the skirting round there, and it's done with magnets at the back. Now I had to stick the magnets out a little bit because it wasn't sticking right around the neck. So there it's there. So I didn't know how this would turn out in foam, but it's actually turned out pretty well. Oh, if I can get round here to the light, that's better. So there we have that there. So you can buy these in kits. What I tend to do is I sell the neck as it is. This is for another client as well. So he's got a chest piece, the neck, and a set of shoulders. I've still to glue the shoulders. They've been cut. So if you go into Google Plus, and if you join or subscribe to Infinity Props or Inkblot Creations, that's INCBLOT, that's Creations, Inkblot Creations. But Infinity Props, if you join our little thing, you'll get all the tips and tricks. So if you get any questions on these, if you ever buy these kits and you're stuck on something, I'm there 24/7-ish, but I definitely answer all my stuff. I've never had a problem with a client. I've answered all questions, and there. So I cut myself, so that's why I've got the plaster on. Doesn't look good in the video. So the magnets are there. You can see they're sticking out just a little bit, but it's not a big deal, because basically there's another piece I'm going to try and do. I'm going to do a prototype. It's a bit that comes up the back, here up the spine, the back of the neck, and comes down. So I need to do the spinal. I'm going to do some spinal bits for the back piece. And I'm going to move on to the kit that you will get for a back piece. Now, people didn't understand what do you get in a kit. Well, basically it's half built for you. The reason it's half built is it's cheaper for you, and it's much more fun for us to build, and it's quicker for me to do. So this is a back piece, but only half of it's done. You see? So what you have to do is just mirror copy. I've modified this bit up here because it's got an indentation there, and then it goes flush. I've decided to modify it, put in extra grooves there. So if I set that up, that's basically half the kit, and the rest of the kit is basically like that. You've got all your pieces that you to glue. Some bits have been glued on. This was done with a burning knife, and then when you've done it with the burning knife, it's got a groove in it. And when I closed it over, because it was so warm, it joined. So it saves me having to hot glue it. Now there's a tip. It's the same there as well. It was just a groove. It's got a groove in the blade. You can change the blades. And when I went to just to test the piece out, it stuck, and I thought, well, that's actually pretty good. So you've got all your pieces there, all your kits. That's a piece for the neck. Oh, that's another thing. These little foam pieces are for the neck, the front of the neck. They should be painted silver. I don't know if I want to glue them on or not. Once I've painted them, probably paint them first and then glue them onto the neck. But I'll move back onto the back piece. So you've got all the pieces that are glued and cut. All the angles are cut. I've actually changed the blade. The blade was starting to get a bit blunt for the hardboard that I use. So I've got all my pieces in here. You can see that's already bent. That was done with the hot knife. It's got the groove in it, and I just folded it over. I'm having trouble talking here for some reason. Weird. So that's that. So your kit there comes, that's your other half. It's very straightforward. You're basically just mirror copying the grooves. You've got the groove there, and it comes thicker there, and it comes flush, and the same there, it goes in and grooved down. Now I modified the bottom. The bottom sticks out at least 10-15mm at the bottom, but don't worry about that. That can be cut straight off, because you won't see it as much, because once the spinal cord's put in, I'm going to start doing the spine next. So I'm going to cut templates for spines. I'm going to have to try and modify that. So this is how your kit comes. It comes like this. So half of it is basically done for you. Sometimes it could be just glue stitched, like just bits stitched here and there to show you where the pieces go. It can be cheaper that way. You can make it like £15 cheaper. If you want it completely built, this will cost you £45 to build it. So you buy the kit, plus I build it for an extra £45. Now that's a good price, because it really should be dearer for the time and effort put into this. Okay, so you're talking up to nearly 3 to 4 hours to complete. That's just gluing it, not just to cut it. It takes roughly an hour and a half to cut, and then when I do the hot gluing, if I want to build it complete, it's an extra £45. I should really be charging £65, but for now £45 is reasonable. It's giving me roughly £15 an hour for the gluing time, or probably a little bit more. As for the chest piece, the chest piece took me a while to build. So basically that's how a kit comes, just to explain it a little bit better for you. And then if you go to the Google Plus Infinity Props, join that. Or my YouTube channel, I've got a YouTube channel, Inkblot Creations, and I've been advertised. If you go to James Bruton of X Robots as well, you'll see I've been advertised for 30 seconds on one of his listings. That's in his number 27 Hulkbuster suit that is building. Hulkbuster 3D print with 4 3D printers all going at the same time. So James Bruton of X Robots, you'll see a 30-second mention, as I would say. So that's it. That's as much as I can show you. So I'm going to be doing, later on tonight, I'm going to be building the shoulders. And what I'll do is I'll put a video on that as well, but that'll go on next week. So next week, that'll be the shoulders. So basically, the kit's the same. One set of shoulders gets built, then you just have to just mirror copy the other set That's how a kit becomes. As for the neck as a kit, it basically, I'm selling it as a built piece rather than a kit. So basically the kit for the neck's £45, I believe it's £45, I'm not too sure, and probably £20 to build it, but I'll sell it less than that. I'll sell it for £55 all in as a complete unit. So I've ordered more of this thin yoga mat foam. So, and the magnets are really good, and as I say, there's like a back brace neck bit goes in here, so I need to do some prototyping of that. Every time I go to build a piece, I must have built 20 chest pieces by now and sold them. I get better and better with the folds and the curves, making the curves a little bit more better. I've added in these little grooves, I've cut these grooves out. Some people in the earlier version didn't have that. That's the only thing that's been modified on that, just that extra groove. And you don't need to worry about these top plates as well, because basically this bit gets glued onto it at the top, so it gets covered. So basically, if I just do half, it gets glued away over here somewhere, so you can actually see, so it gets glued on there. Okay, so if you get any questions you want to ask, I will answer. And when you start buying my kits, and if you want a complete build, right, it does take time. I allow myself 2 days to buy a kit. Now, obviously I build my kits a lot quicker, but for peace of mind, if you allow me 2 days to build the kit, then I will build the kit, not a problem. Build it for you, but remember I've got to charge extra pricing, and if I find that the pricing is not working out, I need to charge that little bit more, say an extra £10 on top of that, then that's reasonable, because there is a lot of time and effort goes into these, and I'm not just willy-nilly and just firing in with hot glue, and I'm basically taking my time with these builds. I want my clients to be happy. I don't mess about and say, right, that's it, oh, I've made this amount of money, this is brilliant. I'm making money to help me out. It helps me buy my foam. I buy the foam mats, easy mats. I buy them in bulk in big boxes of 32. And hot glue, I've got to buy hot glue as well, so I've got to do that as well. So hot glue needs to be bought. I need to pay for my heating, so I've got to heat my garage up as well. All these things are taken into consideration. You know, I've got to buy new blades for my scroll saw. I've got to buy hardboard to make the templates. All my templates are put in ducats for each one, so like the chest, the thighs, the shins, the back, the neck, the shoulders. You name it, I've got it done. And what I don't build, and I keep getting a lot of questions, I don't build the helmets. Now, I will build a foam helmet eventually, but it's not in my top list, because you can buy them on eBay from China. I think they're £150. Now that is good, because if you wear this suit, right, think of it right. You buy the suit, right, you buy this suit, and what happens is, you might go to a party, somebody might want to rent you out for a party, you're going to make your money back. You're going to make your money back. You're going to go to comic conventions. You're going to get noticed. You're going to do charity work. You're going to get noticed. You're going to get publicity. You're going to get money. You can earn money out of these costumes. And oh, Mark Newman, happy birthday! I think it was a couple of days ago. He's bought a suit, and in fact, he didn't tell anybody about the suits. I'm just going to spin this round with my big super duper glasses on and take them off. Happy birthday, dude. And Ian, I'm not too sure about your shoulder pads or your shoulders that you've got on yours, so I need to figure out what shoulders you really have. I think they are the wrong way around. I'm thinking they're for a Mark III. Not too sure. I need to do some research. So that's all my stuff, all my foam stuff, and I don't know how this is turning out. I'm just facing the camera towards me. I've usually got it on a stand. And as I say, go to all these Google Plus pages. There's James Bruton from Expo Robots, there's Infinity Props, there's Inkblot Creations, that's my personal Google Plus page, and also Inkblot Creations is for the eBay stuff. And once you buy the kits, you get my personal mobile number, and if you get any questions or you're not too sure if you want to order something, then you can just do it that way. I've got a client just pays through PayPal, and that's why I usually do eBay just to advertise what I'm doing. And I mean, eBay does charge a fortune. I'll just spin this round, just get some detail while I'm talking. So I've modified these pieces here. Have been modified. You can see the Easy Mat logo stamped there. Okay. Now also I like to point out it's a light blue colour, and the reason light blue is easier for painting. You won't need as much coats of paint. I used to do it in black foam, and it was horrible stuff because it didn't have this kind of, what do you call it, texture on it. It had the other texture, like a like a plated set of steps or something. I can't really describe it. Tongue tied and twisted. Okay. There's my garden. It's a brand new house I'm in. It's work in progress. So I've got my decking and that, and my grass. Why not? I'll show you my house. Ah, my kitchen. Ah! And my big glasses. I need them to see. So that's it. That's your kits. It's getting dark all of a sudden. The clocks have went forward as well. I wonder. It should be. It's 4 o'clock, not 3 o'clock. I haven't changed that yet. So as I say, it's a long video. 17 minutes, longer than usual. And as I say, there we go. So I'd like to say thank you. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, Mark Newman. Ian Sweeten, how you doing? He's a drummer, by the way. He was in a band called Weapon UK, and he sent me a free t-shirt. And what I'll do is, in my next video, when I'm doing the shoulders, I'm going to wear that t-shirt. He's not in the band anymore, but I'll just wear it anyway because his client sent me a free t-shirt, and I'm good that way. So that's it. That's as good as it gets. So I know I say this all the time. If you need help, I'm here 24/7. Okay, I get emails at 3 o'clock in the morning, and if I wake up, I just answer them because I want my clients to be happy. I want to be happy. I don't want to just sell stuff for this and try and just fire it out and people saying, oh, it's not very good. My stuff's good. Okay? I will blow my own horn right now. My stuff is good. My foam kits are really good. There's another guy from London sells Mark 42. I'll advertise him as well. If you go in, there's a Mark 42. He does fiberglass and that. He does the hands and fingers. I've ordered some fingers and hands from him, and I've bought off him. You know, and I'll advertise. I can't remember his name for his webpage, but what I'll do is next week I'll advertise him. Doesn't know I'm advertising him, but he's just basically, I think he's starting out. So that should be fine from there, and he's good. He does the Mark 42. Look it up on eBay, Mark 42. I don't normally advertise competition, but his stuff is good. It's good. Okay? But I don't do Mark 42. I do the Mark 4/6. Right, I've talked long enough. I've gabbed my gob as much as I can, and it's time to go. Bye.